Okay, welcome everyone to our webinar today. Our presenter today is Stan Konevsky, and he is going to highlight Airsled's new stacked dryer shelf kit. Stan?
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's always a pleasure to do these webinars for the UASA organization. I wanted to share something really interesting with the group here. Airsled has been developing a new product in collaboration with Aldolly to help servicers and people who need to handle equipment, appliances, move more easily stack washer dryer units. So let me go ahead and just cover the agenda for today. I always like to start with a very brief overview of Airsled because sometimes folks are coming into these webinars without much background about our small company here. I'll also explain what is the challenge that Airsled is trying to solve. And I think when you see it and you clearly have lived it, the challenge becomes very clear when it comes to moving stack washer dryer systems. Then we'll do a summary of the solution to really help you understand, what is it, what does it do, what's involved in it, how do you use it, and then we'll move on to the demonstration video, which is also available right now as a pre-launch video on our YouTube site. But as we look to, the future, it'll become available to the general public. But Airsled's partners, such as UASA, get a preview to this product. And then we will cover the promotion that we have put out there for UASA members to take advantage of this new product introduction and get some savings and benefits along the way, both from Airsled and our partner in this, Aldolly. And then there will be a portion of this for the Q&A, but I told Sarah that if anybody has questions along the way, they could jump in and we will do our best to answer anything that comes in during the slides. Okay, so the first topic here is just a brief company overview. Airsled has been around for quite a while, since 1982. We are the original inventor of portable, lightweight air dolly solutions. I think they're pretty much called Airsleds, whether Airsled or don't. These solutions, these air dolly solutions are just called Airsleds. And they utilize low pressure air film technology, which Airsled developed in the late 70s, early 80s. We're based in Newark, Delaware, and we are best known for our appliance mover systems. Our appliance mover systems, they come in 3 different types of categories based on their weight rating. In other words, how much they can lift. They range from 450 pounds to 950 pounds in terms of their weight and lift rating capability. We also have a few other standard products, systems to move vending equipment or things in that type of profile that can weigh up to 1,400 pounds. And then we also have 3-in-1 multi-purpose systems. So instead of having 2 air beams, there are 3 air beams, and that gives us the ability to move weights up to 2,300 pounds. We also offer various accessories, which we will cover today, that expand the value and the performance and the functionality of Airsled systems. And even though we may be known for our standard products, we also have a section to our business that specializes in more of the custom type of systems. And the same stuff that goes into the appliance movers is the same stuff that goes into systems that we've designed and built that have been able to move 50,000 pounds. And we like to really let people know that everything that we make is here in Newark, Delaware, in the USA, and we only use domestically sourced components and, of course, domestic labor. So we really are a company that believes in buying local. Okay, so what is the problem that Airsled is trying to solve? And I think more than anything, these pictures tell the story. Stack washer dryer systems, the one, if I'm looking at it to the left of the screen, is a more of a closet style installation where you have a lot of room to the sides, or a fair amount of room to the sides and to the back and above. And the one to the right is even a more challenging installation where it's really slick and seamless, where you have very limited amount of space to the sides and to the back and above the stacked unit. These stacked units can easily weigh over 350 pounds. And as anybody knows, that is very difficult for a single person to move. Now, the job gets a lot harder if you need to not only move both of the units out, but you need to access just the washer and need to remove the dryer from the stacked system. So in that scenario, you have to move everything out or potentially everything out, and then you need to move the dryer, which just only adds complexity to the job. Again, if you look at the right side, the tight installation only compounds and exacerbates the issues that folks have to deal with. And as you've been there, the risk to property damage, equipment damage, and your safety starts to greatly increase in these types of situations. Sometimes people prefer to have a second technician or an assistant there in order to facilitate any of the moving, the repositioning, any of the service activities, just because having two bodies can be better than having one in these situations. But other times, people are simply forced to decline or possibly reschedule a job if access isn't possible. It's not uncommon for the servicer to expect the homeowner to have access be total and unobstructed to whatever the appliance is. And the homeowner may not always be able to arrange that. So therefore, it creates a scenario where the servicer needs to make a decision. Do they abandon the job? Do they reschedule the job? Do they do something that can be a source of lost revenue or perhaps a negative review based on what the customer experienced? So this, in a nutshell, is a slide that really visually explains what the problem is or the challenges that Airsled is trying to solve. And as I was doing research about this problem, we found a few interesting things, some of the solutions that are out there today. The one to the very left, I consider to be the most amusing. Somebody actually put together a how-to video for removing a stack dryer. They showed how they wheeled in one of those large trash or recycling receptacles with kind of that hinged lid. It seemed to work perfectly with the elevation of the washer and allowed the dryer to be slid onto it. I guess the question is this a good look for any professional servicer to present to a customer in that customer's home? Does a customer even have a trash can that is suitable for that? So it was just an amusing video. Did it work? Yes. But again, I think folks that are joining this webinar view themselves as a higher caliber type of individuals. So this may not be the best look for them. Then it's also very common in the middle picture there for people to have hydraulic carts. They are certainly versatile. They can lift anywhere from 500 pounds and above, but they weigh 90 pounds. And that may not be something that you want to carry or can carry with you to and from your van or your truck or your shop to the customer site. But what happens when you need to move both the stacked unit out first? Sure, it might help get the dryer out, but then you're on your own when you're trying to move the washing machine. And then we have our friends at Alldolly who have really a terrific product, smartly designed, that can be used for a number of appliances, especially wall ovens, as a lot of people know. And they offer a dryer shelf, they offer a shelf, but that shelf isn't really sized, especially for working with an Airsled. And so a lot of people create their own shelves, slightly larger. And then again, what happens if you need to move the entire stack first? The Alldolly is not a solution that can do that or is generally known to help in that type of situation. So I thought, I'd set up the problem for you and then help you folks understand what are some of the ways that people solve the problem today. I'm sure there are countless other approaches that people use, have tried, were successful, less successful. So I'm not here to get everybody's input on all the smart ways that they've tried to solve this. I just figured I'd throw up these three typical approaches that I've seen, or approaches that I've seen in my own research on the problem with moving stacked washer dryer units. So as anybody who studies a problem and the solution landscape, we put the two together. You know, here's the problem, here's the lack of practical solutions, or at least, you know, that's our viewpoint, is there is a lack of practical solutions. You put those together and you result in a collaboration, or that resulted in a collaboration between Airsled and Aldolly, you know, two companies that are known as leaders in the appliance mobility space, to develop what we call now, or I call now, the Airsled Stacked Dryer Shelf Kit. And there you see the bottom corner is a picture of what I mean when I refer to the Airsled Stacked Dryer Shelf Kit. You can see how it is helping the operator or the servicer move the dryer pretty much effortlessly off of the washing machine once all the prerequisite work is done. And when I say prerequisite work, it'll be much more clear in the video. But before I get to the video, I wanted to deep dive. You know, what is this kit? You know, what is it made of? What is it supposed to do? What does it cost? You know, what are the important things that you need to understand as you evaluate whether this is the right accessory for you? So the first thing that's important to understand is that this accessory, this Airsled accessory, is designed specifically to work with the tall Aldolly, because those systems reach the height that you need to clear on a washing machine. The standard dollies are a little bit too short for this kit. So if you are evaluating this accessory and you are evaluating all dolly products, or you have an all dolly product, it really needs to be of the tall version for this accessory to work. And like I said, this shelf kit is sized specifically to work not only with the all dolly, but also with the Airsled appliance movers. And it is also designed to sit securely on the all dolly for safety, because in everything that we do, safety is the ultimate goal here, to make sure that nobody gets hurt, nothing gets injured, and nothing gets damaged. So what we have created is a product that once you are in a position to use it, the dryer, which can be alone up to 150 pounds, the dryer can be effortlessly glided out of its location with this shelf kit and your Airsled system and the all dolly. In terms of its price, it is $149.99. There is a carrying bag that will fit this shelf for about another $40, but for those who are submitting the reservation for this product, they will get, as part of the promotion, the bag for free. So the bottom half of the slide really kind of puts a microscope on the shelf. And the first piece of this is, well, what is it? You know, what is the actual material? What is its size? So we use HDPE, which is a high density polyethylene product. It's very sturdy. It has a slick surface, which is important because we like slick surfaces to help keep friction down when we use Airsled products. It is 1/2 inch thick material. It is hinged. So we know that people prefer smaller accessories. So we designed it to have a hinge. So when it's closed, it's 14 by 31 inches. And when it's open, it's 28 by 31 inches. So 14 by 31, nice and compact, folds up about 1 inch thick because it's comprised of a 1/2 inch thick material. Easy to carry with you, especially in the carrying bag. The unit can support 400 pounds of weight when it's used with the all dolly, and it weighs about 15 pounds. In the middle there, you'll see clamps that are used to secure the shelf. So again, the video will tell the story a little bit better, but when you open up the shelf and lay it onto the all dolly supports, it's important to use these two clamps on one end just to prevent the shelf from feeling like it's going to tilt or tip up as you're moving the dryer across it. Right next to those clamps is an adjustable stopper. So we thought, what could go wrong? Well, one of the things that can go wrong is one of these strong servicers or enthusiastic servicers maybe pulling the dryer vigorously and aggressively, and we want to make sure that you don't pull the dryer off inadvertently off of the edge of the shelf. So we designed this stopper system. It goes on very easy. It has 2 plastic bumpers just to kind of help avoid any possible scratches on the front edge of the dryer if it makes contact with it. But I think as you see the video, visually you'll be able to understand where to stop, so you won't have any unforeseen problems. And then the last piece, and this is very, very important, when you buy an all-dolly system, it comes with 2 locking screws, if you will. That's the term that I use for them. And our kit includes 2 as well, with each shelf kit that you purchase in case you are missing the 2 that came with the all-dolly system. These are essential safety features because they, in a sense, lock the all-dolly legs and prevent them from swinging open. Because what will happen is once you move the dryer onto the shelf, and if you start moving the all-dolly with the dryer shelf on top of it, you may inadvertently swing the legs open, because that's how all-dollies are designed. And this will prevent the legs from swinging open and the load, the dryer, from falling down. So let me actually pause here. I'm not expecting or seeking questions, but since I kind of did a little bit of a deeper dive on the specifics of this accessory, I thought I'd just pause here in case any questions come up.
We do have one, Stan. Can this be used on a wall oven?
Well, we weren't able to test that. Okay, and what I mean by that is we weren't able to physically test it on a wall oven. We were able to test it with the weight that was equivalent to or even greater than a wall oven, but we simply didn't have the capability, the appliance and the setup to do that type of test. So if anybody is out there and is willing to give it a try, they'll know right away whether it can be successful or not. And I can talk about that during the video, because really what we weren't really sure of is as that oven travels from the installation cavity and onto the front edge of this shelf, because this shelf overhangs the all dollies frame, we just weren't able to see what would happen, because while we can do that with 400 pounds or even 500 pounds going from one surface onto the shelf, ovens are different. Some of them have a front lip or some trim, and we just couldn't replicate that exact scenario. So because of that, I don't feel comfortable making that claim. We are working on ways of testing that. We actually have a double wall oven now in our facility, and we're looking at some other products and accessories. So we're looking to create that test and the video associated with that. So I know I'm giving you a very long explanation to a simple question. The likelihood is yes, we just haven't had a chance to test whether this will work with a a double wall oven.
Okay, that is pretty much it. Michael Olson made a comment that said most wall ovens have no clearance below them, so that might be a big factor, but yeah, there are no other questions at this time. Stan, if you want to go ahead and...
All right, so I mentioned this earlier on the previous slide with some of the safety features, and the video will go into it as well. But as you can see, I am very focused on stressing the safety elements of this, because I know that when you look at an all dolly, it may look a little bit, flimsy. It is not, as people who use it know that. Some may look at this plastic feeling shelf and they think that it's not sturdy or secure, and it is. But we went, above and beyond with some of the safety features. So the first thing that I just want to share with folks is The Airsleds alone are able to move a completely stacked washer and dryer set. So I just want to establish that, because sometimes people don't make that connection that, hey, with an Airsled, I can pull out both washer and dryer while they're stacked together. I know I may be stating the obvious, but sometimes I'm surprised by some of the, the curiosity people have about our appliance movers. The next piece is, like I said, we include 2 locking screws, so it'll be a key demo moment in the video, that those locking screws pass through the pre-drilled holes in our shelf. By doing so, you ensure that the all dolly legs are locked into place and don't open up on you as you're doing the move. Then next to that shot, you'll see the clamp. It is designed to go over the edge of the shelf, and there's a wing nut to tighten it up. Now, the shelf itself is not is designed to be just a little bit short of the opening of those legs, so it's okay that the shelf isn't butting up against the leg of the all dolly. But these clamps, like I said, between the sizing of the clamps and the sizing of the shelf, they will work flawlessly in order to create that security. And lastly, you can see the installation of that front stopper. There are 4 holes in it and 2 clevis pins that come along with it. So you essentially have 3 settings. Some dryers are deeper than others, and they may need to be pulled out a little bit further. So we have tested this. Every setting of this safety stopper works. No matter what size of the dryer, the Airsled will work safely, and nothing will tip or put you in danger of anything falling off of the edge with this safety stopper in place. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to play the demo video. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to interject with any commentary. I will play it, and if there are questions after the fact, we can reverse the video and spend a moment or two on that frame. So without further ado, let me launch the video. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to highlight from the video before I move on to the next slide, and we can open it up to questions if it helps to review any of the content in the video. You'll notice, or perhaps you noticed, we were using our light duty appliance mover system, the small orange blower here. So even our lightest duty appliance mover is capable to move a large capacity stacked washer and dryer. You know, sometimes people are more familiar with our slightly larger blowers, and they tend to be preferred by you know, the pros. But that doesn't mean that our smaller system isn't capable if this is what you know, what you know, the type of appliance that you need to move. The other component to this is that we purposely used a variable speed system. Unfortunately, or fortunately, our studio, if you will, was a very open space. But if you can imagine trying to move this in a very tight enclosure with very limited overhead clearance, the variable speed really becomes almost an essential feature to this, because you're trying to not wedge the appliance in, and that's where the variable speed really kind of helps address that clearance issue. And the last piece that the video showed is those plastic rough surface adapters or carpet sliders. They were placed in between the shelf and the top of the washer to close the gap. So the reason why we do that is if you have a gap between the two, it acts like a brake to the Airsled, because the Airsled needs a smooth, hard surface in order for it to perform optimally. And with some of the curvature out there of the appliances, that gap can get really big between the straight edge of the shelf and the curved edge of the washing machine. So for that reason, we always recommend using the rough surface adapters or the plastic sliders as a way to bridge any gaps between the shelf and the top of the washer. So those are some of the call outs from the video. Let me pause here, Sarah, in case anybody feels like it would help to go back to the video to review anything in specific.
I'm not seeing, if we have the all dolly that is not the tall one, will you take those as a trade-in towards the purchase of a tall dolly?
So that would have to be something that the all dolly company would have to evaluate. So, and I'll share the arrangement that Airsled came up with is that as part of this promotion, and I'll go into this in a couple of slides, is that in addition to the savings and benefits from Airsled, All Dolly will give you a $40 credit, if you will, or voucher or discount off of a new tall All Dolly. I would have to defer to them for anything beyond that arrangement, because I can't, I don't want to speak for what they would be comfortable doing or not doing.
Right. That makes sense. And that's it so far.
Okay. Well, so I was just discussing this. So let me go back to this piece. Again, Airsled and I, we love our partnership with UASA, and we're happy that we can find ways of giving the membership interesting opportunities and unique opportunities, especially when there's a benefit for them ahead of the general public. So with this one, the opportunity is to get a free carrying bag for your shelf if you submit a product reservation form. There is no obligation to buy. We will contact you individually to say, hey, remember us? You submitted a reservation form. Well, the product is available and it's yours if you want it. And if you do, then we will complete the order and send you the unit with the carrying bag at no additional cost. If you also, as part of the form that you submitted, there was a checkbox to indicate whether you want to be contacted about a tall all dolly. That information will be passed along to all dolly. You will also receive an email from us confirming that we received that request and it has been passed along to all dolly to make sure that there's a complete trail of information, so there are no surprises. People can then work directly with all dolly on completing their purchase and receiving their $40 discount on those products. And we are asking people who are considering this to make a decision by Friday, April 23rd, because at that point this promotion will end. And so it's important for you to just think about that if this is something that appeals to you. And like I said, our customer service will reach out to you in early May. That's when we anticipate units being available for shipment. So Sarah, with that, I want to just say thank you again to you and to the UASA members. People have a direct line to us through email, airsled@airsled.com. We're a small enough company that, even though I wear the title of president and CEO, I am, and people on this call or in this webinar may have already been in touch with me. People know that because we're small, we are able to really give people a personal attention for any questions that they have or any concerns or issues that come up. So feel free to call us or contact us at this general email, and you will hear from us very swiftly.
Awesome. Again, that email address is on the screen. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you, Stan, so much for presenting this. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us or to Stan. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.